what is actually moonshine? And I know it's trademarked. A lot of things are like smoky moonshine distilling, but what is actually moonshine? Because I always thought.
No, but I don't know if does it take a certain percentage of alcohol, or like or does it need to be made in
I used to think that. It's got to be made in.
From what I know, it was the
country.
common term for like bootleg, like
that's what it is.
Bootleg distilled liquor.
That's what it is. Right. That's all it is. People think moonshine.
And so like it could have been whiskey, it could have been rum, whatever. It was still called moonshine because it was just bootleg.
As long as you're selling it and you're not paying taxes on it and it's distilled, I think it's moonshine. I don't think it matters if it's potato, vodka grain, apple.
Right.
I don't think that matters at all. So
part of it is you're avoiding taxes.
I mean, back in the day, I think moonshine was created with prohibition because it was illegal, so there were no taxes.
Fair enough.
But everybody's got their idea of what moonshine is because you also see there's brands.
I mean, that's how NASCAR was started, from moonshining.
What do you mean?
They would soup up cars and
they would soup up cars, so they would look stock, so sleeper kind of thing. And what they would do is gut out the whole like underneath the seats and stuff like that, and put all the jars of moonshine in there. And then when they weren't running moonshine, what they would do on the weekends is just race each other and see who had the fastest car around the track. And then, boom, out of that came NASCAR.
There's no way.
You can look it up.
I believe you, Aliaz. I definitely believe you. I mean, I know I could look it up.
So Test Eagle says moonshine is a legal distilled alcohol meant to be made at night, like under the moonlight. So.
Wait. We're going back to this NASCAR thing. Moonshine created NASCAR.
I'm surprised you never heard that before.
I haven't. I know that Nintendo was originally a brothel company, which is...
What?
Look it up.
Oh, gee. Yeah, I believe it.
Back in the day, Japanese Nintendo, before they got into, before electronics and board games.
Yeah, because...
You just learned something new right now.
Oh, they used to run whorehouses, baby. Can we say that?
Right, so they wanted to outrun the cops, right? So that was their main goal, is like, even with a full car full of like moonshine, they would still be faster than the cops, and the cops couldn't catch them.
Right, but I mean, okay, so cops didn't have radios at this time. That's why it makes sense, right? Because once you left a cop, that was it.
Right, because they can't be like, oh, he's going down East and 45th, right? Like, they'd be like, oh no, he was going down this way, and that's it.
Now I'm starting to play catch up because I'm like, why would they do NASCAR with moonshine in the ring that just goes around 500 times? Like, no, this isn't the off-beaten path.
Stuff like that.
This is Dukes of Hazzard. Okay.
Yeah, backwards shit.
Okay. This is
trying to outrun the law.
This is when it was
again the law.
This was when cops were probably the most corrupt, but it was like the easiest time to get away from a cop. You know, if some cop was fatter than you, that was like, get over here, you're arrested. You're like,
oh yeah,
no, I'm just gonna go run in those bushes, and you're never gonna see me ever again. And that's exactly what's gonna happen. This is exactly how it's gonna work. Shit, I did that growing up my whole life because there was curfew in my city, and cops would try to pull you over. It's like, right on, I'm gonna hop this fence and then hop 3 more fences, and I promise you, I swear on my grandmother's urn, you're not gonna do the same. You're not gonna hop 3 fences to bust a...
Dude, that was so much fun as a kid, running from cops.
It was the best. It was the best. Where I lived, it was green belts everywhere. So I had like 7 different ways I could get to 7-Eleven.
What do you mean by green belts?
So where I lived in Village Park, not that makes any sense, every street was one way. Like this would be one way, and this would be one way. And in the center, there'd just be big green parked fields for miles.
Yeah.
And some of them had pools, some of them had diving board pools, some of them had like jungle gyms. And when we grew up, have you seen the movie Superbad where Jonah Hill and Michael Cera are just trying to get beer, fake IDs, and walk to parties they weren't invited to? That was
the show.
Every single night of my high school. Well, freshman, sophomore year until we got our driver's licenses. Thinking we're friends with the seniors, name dropping all the fucking cool surfers and seniors that we knew as like 14-year-olds just to get in. And we'd have to walk home. And my parents were going through a divorce at the time, so it was like, whatever. I'll just walk to this house if, I don't know, my mom's expecting me home, my dad's not. We just had shit figured out. We were just way more ratty and resourceful. we were always running from cops, man. They'd have their little cops have obviously their headlights like a normal car and their backlights, and they have the blue and whites up top, but they also had that little like side light
thing.
Yeah, that was right next to their side view mirror, and that would come on. It's just like everybody going a different direction, flick the cop off, run around. Yeah, and like if you get caught, it's pretty rare for you to get caught, but if you do, you deserve to get caught.